Well, one of my lovely members, Ailish Burns, thank you Ailish, sent me this mould through the post. Now, if ever you want to send me anything, my address is always in the bottom of every video. And people send me stuff all the time and I love it. It's like Christmas and it always makes me feel really, really wonderful when I receive gifts. So thank you very much. Now, this is a mould I've never seen before, so I'm really looking forward to having a go at it. And it makes a carousel and it comes with all the little bits that you need. It doesn't come with any instructions on how to use it, but I don't think that's a problem. I'm sure that we can work it out. So that's obviously the top. They're the little poles for the tiny little teeny weeny horses, which look great fun. And that's the top and bottom. Now I'm going to do quite a lot of different techniques with this and show you some hints and tips on using different techniques when doing stuff with a mould. And we'll see how it comes out. I want it to be quite colourful. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is my little, they're not horses, the little shapes that are going to come down from the carousel. And I'm going to do those in chameleon powder and try and get a different colour chameleon powder for each one. So I'm using the Resin's chameleon powders for this because they do a 24 pack rather than a 4 pack or a 5 pack. And as usual, I'm going to be using is one of these little sponge brushes to apply this with, because I always find that this just applies a much better and more even coating of the chameleon powders to the silicone. When I use chameleon flakes, and you can check out the video that I did the other week, I'll link it at the end of this one. When I use chameleon flakes, I always use a brush. I find to get a better result from the brush. And when you put them in, always give them a bit of a rub as well afterwards to kind of burnish them down a little bit. So that one's fully covered, and I'm just going to go ahead and do all the other ones with each one of these colours. So for the centre bit, what I'm going to do is use chameleon flakes, and I've got this mixture here of chameleon flakes, and it's from where I'm doing a table, and I wanted a real variety of all the flakes mixed in together, and they work so well like this. And it's a good way of, if you've got little bits left in pots and you're not sure what to do with it, stick it all in together in one pot and you'll be amazed at how well it works. Again, these need a good burnish to get the best results from these. So this is the centre bit. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And for the bits going round, the little indents that are going round this and the steps, I'm going to be using my enamel paint technique for this, because I know that this is going to cover, and it always covers really well on a silicone mould. It's the best paints to use on silicone moulds, and it gives a really nice painted finish when it's done. And I want it to look painted. And so I'm going to do every other one red, and then I'm going to do every other one black. The only thing is with this, you really need to make sure it's completely dry before you pour your resin, because if not, it will stick to the actual mould. So I will put this either into my resin curing machine for a couple of hours to dry this paint, or I'll leave it overnight to dry. And this paint doesn't peel away from your moulds like acrylic paints will, or acrylic pens. So what I've done is I've painted in there the red and black, and now I'm going to do opposite colours of yellow and blue. But I'm also going to mix up a little bit of yellow mica powder in with this as well. It might show through, it might not. I'm not sure. It's more likely to show through once it's dry than it is when it's wet. Definitely does change the colour a little bit. I put my black lines in to make sure I divide it up properly. And all I'm going to do is paint that on there right up to my black line. Blah, blah, blah. Black lines. Now, people ask me question quite often, when you're painting onto a mould like this and it cures, will it scrape off once it's cured in the resin? And the answer is no, actually. The resin penetrates through this and really does seal on it well. So it's there permanently. What it does, I don't know really the technical term for it, but it absorbs itself into the resin, so it's there forever. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that got me a coffee last month as well. It's been a difficult month the last few months. I'm not sure why, but so your coffees really do help me keep this channel going and do all these types of experiments and things. And if you'd like to buy me a coffee, the link for that is in the description below. And it's really appreciated, and you get on my coffee board as a thank you. So as you can see, this stuff doesn't pull away from the mould, unlike a lot of things. It will stay on the mould. Be gentle with it though, because if not, once it's fully dry, it will peel off, and the last thing you want it to do is peel off your silicone. And work in a well ventilated area as well. This is enamel paint, and those two I'm going to do in blue in exactly the same way. So I've now painted the little stars going all the way round with some chameleon powder, and then I'm going to go around the edge again with another chameleon powder, which is the white gold one, and doing all the dips. And that'll fill those stars up, but because it's white, they'll still show through anyway. And that's why I'm doing it with a brush, so I don't brush out that yellow. So now I've got that there, I've put a bit of the chameleon flakes all the way around on the inside, as well as the chameleon powders around there. And now what I'm going to do is use this blue, purple, red, orange chameleon powder over the top of it all here. Fill in any bit over the top of those chameleon powders, making sure again that I brushed them and burnished them all the way through to ensure I've got a really good adhesion onto this. The static and everything allows those chameleon flakes to really adhere well to that mould. And all I need to do now is to fill in wherever there isn't chameleon flakes. Make sure I burnish it over a little bit as well, and then I'm ready to pour. So everything's done now, and all I have to do is wait for this part of it to be completely dry. Now, if I don't like this when it's done, it doesn't match, or I don't feel happy with it, there is a way that I can easily change this once it's poured. But I won't know that until I've tried it. And so I'm going to leave this to dry overnight, and I'll pour tomorrow afternoon. So it will be drying for about 24 hours. It's quite a warm day today, so it'll be lovely and dry. This is all dry now, and it should be ready to take the resin. When I look at it through light, I can see a little bit of light coming through. So if I wanted to, I could give it a second coat and wait another day, but I don't want to. I want to get on with it. I have got no patience, and I know I'll be annoyed if it isn't fully covered. But it doesn't matter, because I can, if it's not fully covered, then I'll quickly show you how you can rescue it. I'm going to be using the Crystal Clear by Teexpert for this. I know it is a brilliant medium pour resin, and it will work no problems with these depths and with these items, because it will cure up brilliantly. I've got my resin mixed up now, and what I'm going to do is colour that resin, because it's important when you've used colours like this or brushed mica powder on, or chameleon flakes or chameleon powders, that you actually have a base colour. Now, because a lot of this is white, then I don't want to have a dark colour, because that will darken it off too much. So I'm going to be using a little bit of the Let's Resin Opaque White and mix that in there. Make sure it's fully mixed in, so I've got no real marbling effect. It's not going to matter too much, because you're not really going to see it. It's just there as a background colour. And now I'm going to add in some white mica powder as well to give it that richness. It makes it more of a pearlescent colour. And now I'm going to pour, and I'm going to pour slowly to start with as well, to ensure that I get everything in there. And now I've got that a little bit in there. I'm just going to give it a bit of a tap and a bit of a squidgy widgy, and then I can fill it up again a little bit more. Look at that, I'm so messy, it's gone down the sides. And now I can put that to one side to cure. Now this bit has got a little knob in there as well, so I want to make sure I get that full. So all I'm going to do is put that in there like that. Take a micro brush and make sure that that is all the way in there, and then try and avoid any trap bubbles in there. Don't want to rub it around the sides too much, because I don't want to knock off all that chameleon flakes that's in there. So hopefully that'll have done it. And the same for these little round bits here. So what I'm going to do is just fill a bit in here like this on each one of them. But if I just poured this straight in there, you would trap bubbles in it. And now it's up there, I can fill this in right to the top. Hey, there we go. Same for this. I need to ensure that I've got this well and truly, all these little bits here fully filled, then what I'm going to do is pour a little bit in there like this and allow that to flow into those little corner bits. And if you think about your molds like this, then you are less likely to get trap bubbles in them. You probably get some, and if you're not using a pressure pot, then we get used to them. But if you try and pour it thinking about where the bubbles will trap first and then pour it in afterwards, you will actually get a much better result. I don't need to squidgy-widgy that base. Now all I got to do is fill these up. Again, I will put a little bit in and give them a little bit of a squidgy-widgy there and then fill them up to the top. Then we'll leave that to cure and we can come back to that and I'll show you how to put it together. These are all nice and cured now, so I can start to demold them. And obviously this is the first one I want to demold because I want to see how well this has come out. If it hasn't come out as well as I expected, because I only did give it one coat, then what I will do is change it up a little bit. But actually, no, look, that has come out even better than I could have expected. I love the way that has come out. Really nice and solid. No residue left in the mold at all. And also, this is here permanently. That is not going to scrape off or anything like that. So that's come out really well. Center pole, I did with the chameleon powders. Let's get that out. And that should fit into there. But I may have to trim it up a little bit. I've got a slight bit of overpour on that. That's stopping it going in. I'm just going to give it a quick trim this way. It doesn't matter because we're not going to see this bit. But it also is important that we get it in there so it's nice and tight, because we don't want it moving around, do we? There, that fits in there lovely and tight like that. Oh, I really like that. So then this is the bit where I did the little stars in a different colour and then did a mixture of a bit of the chameleon flakes on the top, which has come out lovely, and so have those stars. And that will sit on there like that, and we will glue that on in a second. And they've all got a little hole in them as well for you to put the rods in that also come with it. I mean, they're just jewelry pins. I mean, you can get those from anywhere in lots of different colours, so you're not dependent like some moulds that you can only make the thing once. You could make as many of these as you liked in different colours, because these are just like the head pins, and these are so easy to make anyway, even if you didn't want to buy them. All you've got to do is get a bit of wire and make a little twist on the top, and those fit in there like that. Now they're a bit loose, so they are going to need gluing in to there, and I'm going to glue them in before I do anything else. And what I'm going to use for that is a little bit of 5-minute epoxy, because that'll dry clear, and also it will dry very, very hard. And I do love me 5-minute epoxy. All you need is equal amounts of part A and part B. Don't need much, like that. Give it a quick mix together so it's nicely combined. Work in a well-ventilated area, or use a mask with this as well, because it does stink. Okay, that should be enough for me. All I'm going to do is take one of these little pins, dip the end in like that, and then poke it in my hole. A little bit in first, poke it in my hole, and then I want all the actual loops facing forward, because that's how I'm going to hang them up. So while those little chairs are drying, what I'm going to do is put the little screw eyes in, and I'm doing them every other one of where the stars are. And because this has only been curing now for 24 hours, this will be soft enough to put them in and for them to stay in. If you left it for 48 hours, then you're going to have to probably counter drill the holes first before you put them in. And they go in really easily as well, and they'll stay in there, because as this continues to cure over time, that will really grip hold of those screws eyelets like that. I've got those already, and what I'm going to do is I've marked a little dot in the centre there, because I am going to glue this onto here. You don't have to glue it on if you don't want to. You could even put a little pin in there and have it so it twizzles, but I don't want to do that. I'm going to have it so it stays on there. And again, I'm going to be using the 5-minute epoxy to do that with. I won't need a lot, just a little blob like that, and I can line up my dots like that. Make sure that's dry, and then I'll connect together and show you what it looks like. So these all should be dry enough now. All I need to do is hook these on here like that. Well, there we go. It's all finished now, all put together. I absolutely love that, and I love the way that the little bits swing as well when you move it. Thank you, Ailish, for sending me this mould, and if you'd like to send me anything, then the link for that, along with the link for everything else, is in the description below. You just have to open the description and it's all in there. My members are a wonderful group of people, and they're very kind and sharing. And if you'd like to become a member, then the link for that is in the description below as well. I hope you've enjoyed all the tips and tricks that I've shown. on how to decorate and pre-colour moulds, because it really has worked out well. Them stars have come out beautiful, along with everything else as well. If you have, then please boot that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you check out the video that I've got coming up next, which is another tips and tricks video. You just need to click on that. But most of all, enjoy your resin. Take care. Bye.